Hello, everyone, and welcome back for our third episode of the World Cup series. And this is the favorite that we're going to be going through. There are 8 nations that we're going to be discussing today, and 6 of them are former champions. The only former champion that we've left out is Uruguay. And there are 2 other teams that have never won the FIFA World Cup. Bringing us from 7 World Cup winners to 8 favorites. Where's there any teams you particularly excited about?
Cape Verde.
Cabo Verde.
Cabo Verde.
We
Yeah.
in our local pub there was a game where you could pay €10 to kind of win a team for the World Cup, and then you get payouts accordingly.
So we bought 47 entries.
Yeah, we bought 2 entries. The first one being Cape Verde, and the second one being Brazil, which we will discuss today.
Yeah. So I don't have any particular big fish to fry, or there's no one in particular that I feel a strong affiliation towards of the favorites. So I guess where our €10 is where my heart is. So it's going to be Brazil. Brazil's always a fun side. Let's see how they go. I kind of would not be very pleased if England won, and also probably rooting a little bit against France. Any of the South American side, Netherlands, Spain. These are sides I'd be interested in.
Okay. Well, I think we'll start off from the 8th most likely side to win, according to a lot of the sports models and the bookmakers.
And there's a couple there.
And that is the Netherlands.
Hence I'm wearing the shirt. Are they eighth the least favorite?
8th most favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I think there's reason behind that. The attack is a little bit uninspiring. Kind of front 3 of Gakpo, Memphis Depay, and Daniel Marlin is not exactly thrilling. Defense looks pretty good. They've got Denzel Dumfries as one of the key players. He really bombs down the right. He's also a very important attacking player. Van Dijk, obviously a centre-back. Jurrien Timber will probably play centre-back alongside Van Dijk.
Okay.
And there's a small irony here that Timber, who normally plays right-back for Arsenal, for his club team, will be playing centre-back. And then another player who normally plays centre-back for a club team in a very similar area will be playing at left-back, probably, which is Mickey van der Ven, the Spurs centre-back.
Okay. To be honest, from Timber, I would not expect that. So Netherlands group stage wise, they with Japan and Sweden, I think. So those are can be slightly slippery teams to play against.
They can be, but I think they're probably, like, if they win, I don't know who their 4th game is, actually. I haven't paid too much attention to the groups for these guys, because the expectation is they get through the groups quite easily. Even if they slip up in sort of one or both of those games, as long as one of the slip-ups is say, a draw. A win against Tunisia will probably still see them through.
Yeah. All it might do is just put them onto a difficult route to the business end of the competition.
It might. The one thing worth mentioning is that normally in a World Cup, you can kind of work out what the consequence of finishing second in your group is. In this World Cup, because of the format with the 3rd-place teams, it's really difficult to kind of predict what exactly the consequences of finishing 2nd or 3rd in your group are.
Okay. And just quickly, I don't think it's something we didn't discuss in history, and this being the first time actually previewing the tournament. When you say the consequences of the 3rd-place teams, basically how that's working is that if you finish in the top 2 in your pool, you're guaranteed to go through. But there's 12 groups.
Yeah.
So that gets you to 24 teams, and they needed to get to 32 teams. So then the 8th best 3rd-place finishers in each group will also proceed, right? But exactly. You don't know in what order those 8 teams will be, and so who you're going to be playing from either group.
It's more so that they don't want teams from the third place winners of the group playing against teams from their pool too early. So there's a whole kind of series of
I see.
Okay,
so there is a
eventualities. Yeah.
So it's not just like they rank it 1 to 8 or anything like that. Okay.
It's a pretty complex system, so that's
so it's a little bit. It's unpredictable in that sense.
Yeah.
So you don't know where you're going to land up if you're looking to finish 2nd. Whereas previously you would have known. You would have known if you came 2nd in pool
who
B,
you
would finish 1st in pool A or something like that. It was guaranteed, and you could almost plot the route all the way to the final.
Yeah, whereas now it's a little bit more difficult. You might know who you're playing in the first round, because it could be a 2nd-place team against a 2nd-place team, or a 2nd-place team against a 1st-place team. But you could even have quite a clear knowledge of who you're going to be playing, and probabilistically, and people like the teams, I'm sure, will have kind of models that they know who they're likely to play in places. But for our purposes, it's quite difficult to just say off the top of our heads. Um, yeah, Virgil van Dijk, obviously, probably the best player of his generation for the Netherlands. Certainly club-wise, Memphis Depay has been excellent for the national team. Do you know where Memphis Depay is playing at the moment, actually?
He was at Barcelona, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
but I think that was a while ago
It was
even.
a while ago. I feel like anyone who you don't know where they're playing lands up in Turkey.
It is almost a little bit of a turkey vote. He's playing in Brazil.
Is he playing in
He's
Brazil?
playing for Corinthians in
That's
Brazil.
bizarre.
Yeah. So I think that he always steps up on the national side. Frankie de Jong, excellent midfielder as
Mm,
well. Ryan Gravenberch potentially playing alongside him. Also had a weak season for Liverpool as Van
yeah.
Dijk did. And Tijani Reinders started off the season really well for City, faded quite heavily.
Yeah.
But he looks potentially to be the third player in that midfield. But they've got decent depth. I think they will make a good fist of it, and you never really know with World Cups. Sometimes players are just on form. The other thing to mention with World Cups is that kind of traditionally what we think about as strong like typical tactics and strong teams, etc., are not really don't really apply to World Cups because the teams are kind of quite new to each other.
Mm,
So sometimes magic just strikes in World Cups, and
mm.
players are on form and systems work, and yeah, it's difficult to predict, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, moving onwards, we have got the seventh most likely team to win is Germany. So something to speak about with Germany is kind of the crux of the team really is going to be the Wirtz Musiala kind of duo behind a striker or just in that sort of three quarters up the pitch area. Striker is a big problem for Germany. They don't really have an out and out striker.
Okay.
Likely Kai Havertz will play there.
He's not really a striker, but he plays a lot at striker for
Yeah, he's
Arsenal.
kind of a false nine, but you almost have with those three, you kind of have three players occupying quite similar zones on the pitch.
Mm,
So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that works out. Germany obviously four times winners, so they do have pedigree in the competition. Julian Nagelsmann is the manager of Germany, and he was very highly thought of sort of 4 or 5 years ago. He's managing Hoffenheim originally, and then went on to Bayern Munich, and he didn't really knock the lights out at Bayern, but I think he still won the league, and I mean did like pretty well, but was eventually let go. Sorry, he was eventually let go because it looked like they weren't going to win the league. Thomas Tuchel came in and did win the league with Bayern. And we will be mentioning Thomas Tuchel a little bit later
certainly will.
in this episode.
Did he take over from Joachim Low at Germany, the German national side?
No, Hansi Flick was in between them.
Hansi Flick was in
Yeah.
between because Joachim Low is like when I think of the German national team, it is like black hair on the side of the pitch.
Yeah, 2010, 2014 World Cup.
He was
Obviously,
there for the
their
longest
most
time.
recent World Cup, and then 2018. I think he was let go in 2018 after quite a difficult World Cup. And 2022 they did quite poorly as well. I think they were knocked out on the group stage. I remember it was like maybe they weren't knocked on the group stage, but there was going into the last 5 minutes they were out. Them and Spain.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
It was
I
the
think
Japan
they
group.
made it through in the
Okay.
end.
But yeah, they've been fairly disappointing the last two World Cups after winning it in 2014.
Okay. So I mean, it sounds crazy to think of Germany as the seventh favorites for a World Cup. They've always in our time watching football, they've always been they're perennial contenders.
Yeah, and they're the third most. They've won it the third most time, or the second most time. Sorry, they've won it 4 times alongside Italy, who are not at this competition.
Sorry to clarify, Germany didn't make it out. Japan topped the group,
Yeah.
and Germany and Spain were in the same group in 2022, and Spain snuck through on 4 points.
It was Costa Rica was the fourth team.
Costa Rica was the fourth team, yeah. Costa Rica must have beaten Germany, I presume. In any
Yeah. I can't remember
anyway.
exactly how it worked out, but there was
Japan topping that group is mental.
Yeah, it was
huge upsets actually.
Harry Mitoma's big breakout, the Brighton winger. Anyway, we'll move on to number 6. Team number 6 is Portugal.
Maybe I do have some affiliations after all.
You do. Your wife is a Portuguese citizen, I believe.
She is.
And yeah, the big story I think with Portugal is Ronaldo. Whether he can win a World Cup will be Portugal's first. Also, kind of put him. It would bring him back to the Messi debate. I think in a lot of people's minds, Messi winning the last World Cup kind of put him clear.
Something had popped up on my the algorithms fed me something. It was just a short little clip. I didn't even remember who it was by. But they had said Ronaldo playing for Portugal in this World Cup almost certainly means that they
Will be worse.
Be worse.
Yeah, I think I watched the same video as you.
Okay.
It's not very clear to me who their kind of next striker would be.
But is it not just the kind of like the personality and how you'll expect everything kind of fed into him, and as opposed to if you just had a guy who plays less of a name, you can probably play better system-based football or something.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I mean, the big thing with Portugal, which is mean to get into now, is they probably have the best midfield in the competition, with Vitinha and João Neves, who are the PSG midfield. We're recording this just before the Champions League final, which they're scheduled to play in, so we don't know the result of that. But they won the Champions League last year with those two in midfield, and then Bruno Fernandes. I mean, that's a really, really strong midfield. The wingers also are not like Pedro Neto has been very iffy for Chelsea this year. Ronaldo presumably will be the striker. Sergio Conceição has been playing at Juventus. He's the son of the former Porto manager, I think, maybe still the current Porto manager. Also Sergio Conceição. And then you have like the AC Milan winger. I can't remember his name. It's not too important. Yeah, the defense doesn't look brilliant. Mendes is an excellent left back. Again, PSG. Rafael Leao, that's the guy. Nuno Mendes is an excellent left back. And the rest of the defense kind of Diaz has been going downhill a bit, the Manchester City centre back. I think I've seen that the Chelsea kind of midfielder slash left back, Renato Vega, he's been out on loan all over the place, has been starting at centre back for them, which I don't think is a great sign.
That's pretty odd.
But World Cups are funny. He could just crush it.
Yeah.
They won the Nations League in 2025, beating Spain in the final, so that is bit of a feather in their cap. And their manager is Roberto Martinez, who had quite a successful career in England.
And he was the Belgian.
He was the Belgian manager for I think 2 World Cups, I think 18 and 22.
Kind of oversaw the end of that golden generation for Belgium.
Yeah.
Never really kicked on to achieve anything.
Again, they weren't the most balanced side. They had excellent attacking players, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Dries Mertens, Yannick Carrasco. They're really like exciting, and it's like players coming up and becoming kind of going up and down, and they had lots of good players at the time. But their defense also had really good players, but like a lot of good centre backs and not many good fullbacks. So they had Alderweireld.
Yeah, they had good spine because they even had Fellaini and it was Axel Witsel. Those together must have gone through more hair product than some small nations.
And Dembele, the former Spurs Dembele.
Yeah. Okay, let's stay on track.
Anyway, yeah, Portugal, sixth favorite. I would say this is getting into category of real contenders now.
Not including Portugal.
I would say including Portugal.
Okay, so from 6 up, we should expect probably these teams are semi-finalists.
I think any of these teams, I think anyone Portugal down not making the semi-finals is failure. Netherlands, Germany can kind of be waved away, quarterfinals being expectations. I think Portugal down would be expecting to make semi-finals. Obviously, only 4 of them at most can do that.
For sure. I see that differently. I think it's from Portugal up. You're saying Portugal down.
I think Portugal will be expecting to make the semi-finals.
Yeah, I know that. I'm saying
I see.
The way you're phrasing it, but you're going down in
I have my notes in chronological order.
Yes, I'm saying from Portugal up in terms of your favorites.
And another interesting thing to mention is Portugal, if they went on to win the World Cup, would become the first ever country to win the World Cup with a foreign manager.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that
big if.
It is a big if. Well, that's something that could be said about another team a little bit higher up our list, as you would say, Wes. Number 5. Care to take a guess, Wes? Fifth favorite.
Fifth favorite is?
Yeah.
Argentina?
So World Cup champions in 2022, Copa America champions in 2024. It's almost scandalous that they're this far down.
The fifth favorite, yeah.
They've got a World Cup winning manager, obviously, in Scaloni.
They have Lionel Messi.
He is
Lionel Messi, nonetheless.
Yeah, Messi's a little bit old. Well, that's the issue with the whole team, really.
Mm.
It's very, very similar to the 2022 team.
Yeah.
Angel Di Maria retired is the main difference. Pablo Dybala hasn't been picked in the squad. These kind of the midfield three will be roughly the same: Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez. They have come of age; they were very young at the last World Cup.
Mm.
Rodrigo de Paul is a little bit old, but he's still expected to play. McAllister also had a bit of an iffy season for Liverpool. A lot of Liverpool players have.
I think you can pretty much only say Szoboszlai had a good season.
Yeah, I think so. Montiel at right back has been incredible, playing for Atletico Madrid. And then, yeah, Emi Martinez, again, good for Villa, excellent come World Cup time, always. So they certainly a factor, and Julian Alvarez is one of the best forwards in the world, I'd say.
Yeah.
So they've got, I mean, they certainly have a chance. They
For
would.
sure, but when you look at the four other teams ahead of them, it kind of makes sense why they're there.
I don't know.
And also, I think it's a lot to try to defend a World Cup.
I think they will be more
confidence
consistent than some of the teams that'll come after.
Okay.
I think
But maybe they don't run as hot. Or...
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. One interesting thing is kind of who will take that Di Maria spot on in attack. Nico Paz is a strong contender. He's been playing for Como in Italy, for Fabregas managed team, qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah.
He's a youngster, I think he's 20 or 21. Actually born in Spain, but elected to play for Argentina.
The Bordeaux Glimt of Italy, they call him.
They do. Yeah, so I think looking forward to seeing Argentina. Number 4, we have got Brazil. Another foreign manager in Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, so this could be one of our foreign managers winning. It's actually looking pretty possible that
it does.
3 of our top 6 will have foreign managers at least.
The squad for Brazil was quite controversial. I'm not sure how much of this you saw. There was a lot of competition, particularly for the forward spot.
Okay.
João Pedro missed out, which was quite controversial.
Okay.
And Neymar made it in. Endrick made it in. Real Madrid youngster who's been on loan at Lyon for the last 6 months. Their attack is excellent. Vinicius Junior will probably be the kind of the central player. It's possible. So most of the other teams we've discussed, I think all of the other teams we've discussed so far, will play some variant of a 4-3-3. The Netherlands, I could possibly see moving to 3 at the back with Timber van Dijk, Mickey van der Ven, if they had a good enough left wing back, but I don't think they do. I think that's the problem. Brazil will play a bit of a 4-4-2, I think. Or it will just be a bit
free rein.
A bit free rein, which is a bit of a Carlo Ancelotti special.
Okay.
The problem for them is their midfield. It doesn't have the most depth. Like Fabinho's in the squad, and he was deemed kind of too old or didn't have enough legs.
Saudi Arabia?
He's in Saudi. So he was deemed kind of too old and not enough legs to play for Liverpool 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
But maybe Saudi's a bit like rugby players playing in Japan, that it's easier.
Maybe, especially at that position. You don't need to do. Fabinho was never the biggest runner. He can. I could imagine as a game transitioning.
Yeah.
Where he's not doing keeper running and still playing at pretty high level.
That's fair. So Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes would be the first 2 choice midfielders.
Okay.
And then
even
the thing
Casemiro's old.
Casemiro is old. Yeah.
Pretty good season.
He has had a very good season.
Scored way more than he should have.
Yeah. And then Gabriel at centre back, potentially they're going to be making the most of free kicks and corners, those 2 set pieces.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe Neymar whipping them in. We'll see.
Maybe.
I mean, as is the thing with Ancelotti and historically maybe Brazil, they're quite vibes heavy and tactic light, but at World Cups that can work. Like as we've said, when stuff happens at World Cups, we don't kind of know what this flavor of World Cup will be. My instinct is that it'll be set piece heavy, just because particularly the Premier League we've seen that.
And it seems like there's a lot of Premier League players in these national squads.
There are
more so than in previous years, especially in some of the teams we're going to come to.
Yeah.
England, for example.
I think there are probably fewer Premier League players than. Well, they've expanded the squads to 26, but as a percentage, fewer.
Okay. So, I mean, vibes heavy, tactics light. That seems like a great
World Cup
mantra to get behind for a team who you're going to support at the World Cup. So if we have any other neutrals out there who are looking to adopt a nation?
And they just Brazil. I think Brazil are just effortlessly kind of cool.
They are cool.
And it just feels about time. We were both very young, was 6, 7-ish, when they last won the World Cup. And yeah, you forgot the Jordan camera, Wes.
No, I knew I was on camera, but
Um,
I
yeah,
regretted it instantly.
it feels about time that they win again. So
Yeah.
I think there's maybe a pull behind them. Now the exact opposite of Brazil, let's say. Vibes low and tactics heavy. England under Thomas Tuchel.
Mm.
Undefeated in qualifying. The villains of the piece, certainly. Big controversy as well in the squad. So as we're going through
Some big names missing out.
controversy in the squad, yeah. Cole Palmer, Morgan Gibbs-White, Phil Foden, Trent, Lewis Hall, and Harry Maguire. That was actually the biggest surprise to me.
Pardon?
Harry Maguire was one of the biggest surprises to me as an admission, because I thought this was going to be a set piece dominated World Cup. I thought he's quite a good player for that.
Also a leader.
He is a leader. Jordan Henderson is in the squad kind of for that reason.
Yeah.
Maguire would have been directly competing with Mark Gahey, I think, for the left centre back slot, and I think Gahey has kind of cemented himself as kind of the first choice centre back for England.
Way younger and pretty talented dude.
Yeah, incredibly talented. I think not as strong aerially. And Harry Maguire has been, as much as he's been inconsistent for Manchester United, he's been consistent for England over the years.
That's true.
So yeah, I think that was probably the biggest surprise. Lewis Hall as well. Trent didn't surprise me too much because Thomas Tuchel doesn't seem to like him. And then the other three are all good footballers, but they're in a position where England have a lot of depth.
Yeah.
They're kind of number 10s. And the reason there's been a lot of comments on social media saying Noni Madueke got whatever 3 goal contributions in the Premier League, and Gibbs-White got 18. But Madueke is a winger. He's getting down the line. The point is, what England were bad at in particularly the last Euros, I would say, is had too many kind of slow players wanting to get central. So Harry Kane, Foden, Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, they're just kind of clogging up that kind of central 3/4 area of the pitch, which I was worried about with Germany, with Wirtz, Musiala, and Havertz. And the only real, the solutions that would be Anthony Gordon and Saka on the wings. But I think it was Cole Palmer was playing on the right more than Saka, and Foden on the left more than Gordon. So again, you need
you need proper wingers.
Yeah, you need proper wingers, particularly with Harry Kane.
Just your central guys, so you've pushed out there because they can do it.
Yeah. So I think those players will actually be really key. Marcus Rashford had a really good season for Barcelona as well in the team. So those 4 wingers I think will be pretty crucial for England. I would say their weakness is defense. Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice, really good kind of defensive midfield partnership. Jude Bellingham a little bit ahead of them at 10. But defense just seems iffy to me. Mark Gay, very solid. Pickford, a good international goalkeeper. I would say without being great, he has been solid for England in the past. I don't know who England's other centre back will be. Maybe John Stones, but he's very injury prone. I was a bit surprised he was in the squad. Reece James probably will start as first choice right back, but again, he's very injury prone. And then at left back, they've got presumably Nico O'Reilly or Dan Burn. Nico O'Reilly's had a great season, but I don't know. Throwing a youngster into the World Cup, maybe sink, maybe swim.
Yeah.
I'd say that's where England's kind of weakness lies is at the back. But I think they're not going to try and get into a basketball match with either of the next 2 teams, or Brazil probably, who are the teams they should probably fear the most. Team number 2. Oh. Gone from 3 up to 4.
Well, if we still have Cape Verde at number 1.
We need a little bit more space. Yeah. So this is, I'm going to call them Team Mbappe and Dembele.
We're talking about Spain, of course.
And Elise and Doué. France.
Yeah, some big names.
4 big attackers.
Terrifying names.
I'm not sure if they will all play. Doué probably the most likely one to miss out. But I definitely see a world in which
Doué or Dante will play.
I definitely see a world in which all 4 play.
Dante as well?
Dante was a Brazilian centre back. Yeah.
Doué or Dante.
Yeah. There's also an Italian poet called Dante Alighieri. I think the structure with the 4 of them would be Elise in the 10, Dembele out on the right, Doué left, and Mbappe striker. With the 3 of them, which I personally would quite like to see, would be Dembele as a false 9, Mbappe off the left, and then Elise on the right. I think that would be very fun.
Yeah.
I think the kind of impediment to that is that their midfield is not brilliant. They don't have three great midfielders, and we'll get onto that a little bit later. The coach Didier Deschamps is another World Cup winning coach, as we mentioned Scaloni earlier. So very like a proven international manager, which actually not a lot of these teams have.
A lot of club managers
Yeah,
turned international.
yeah, and so I guess Roberto Martinez has coached the last internationally, but hasn't really. I don't want to say he hasn't won anything.
Hasn't won anything.
And the same goes for Ronald Koeman, again, club manager, turned international a few years ago. The defense looks really strong. So goalkeeper Mike Mannion is a change from last World Cup, would have been Hugo Lloris.
Hugo.
The defense looks pretty similar. Benjamin Pavard has kind of dropped out, and the Barcelona right back, Jules Koundé, is playing there. He probably will be right back. The centre backs will probably be Saliba and Deo Upamecano, with Konate coming in, probably a bit of rotation around the opening games.
Yeah.
Left back will probably be Theo Hernandez, who will get far up. And that's kind of one of the reasons that I prefer, well, I suppose Doué will cut in. That's what that I wanted Mbappe on the left, is that Theo Hernandez will kind of offer that fourth attacker, fifth attacker thing for the width. Whereas Koundé, I think, will tuck in a little bit more and form a kind of a situational back three. Midfield, as I mentioned, is kind of the issue. Their five midfielders are Rabiot, Tchouaméni, who had the big incident with his Real Madrid teammate VERDE, but he hasn't been excellent for Madrid this season. N'Golo Kante, who's kind of quite old by now, 35, 36-ish. Warren Zaïre-Emery, who's very young, 19, PSG player, very good. And then Manu Kone, who's playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach, I think, in Germany, who is very good, but he's quite I think of him as quite like a all-action kind of box-to-box midfielder. And I think they just need someone who can control a bit next to him. Tchouaméni might be that person. We'll see as the World Cup goes on. An interesting omission is Eduardo Camavinga, who I really, really rated a few years ago.
Yeah.
Another Real Madrid player who seemingly he hasn't quite hit the trajectory that I had hoped for him, at least.
Every time Liverpool seems to play Real Madrid, he gives me nightmares.
Yeah.
He's just all over the pitch.
Yeah, he's technically brilliant. I mean, he played left back once and ate us alive.
Yeah. That's a surprising omission.
Particularly with 26 with a 26-man team.
The biggest squad.
We'll see how they go. I mean, the second favorite reason, and that attack is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it is actually it's scary to think that when you kind of go through the team, they kind of barring the midfield, that is the second favorites to win the tournament.
Yeah.
But I guess that leaves you with Spain.
With Spain, and I think favorites for one particular reason, who's Lamine Yamal.
I just don't get the hype. No, he's pretty good.
He is pretty good. I mean, he hasn't proven it on the biggest of stages yet, as in Champions League final or World Cup final.
He's part of a very young Barcelona team.
He is.
So I think it will come in time.
No, it will. And I think one of the question marks I have around this Spanish team is the youth in certain positions, particularly at centre back, which we'll get to now. Lamine Yamal will miss the first few games with a hamstring injury, so we'll only really see him probably come knockout time. But Spain have got pretty good depth. They can handle that. In the group stage, Luis de la Fuente is the manager. He managed the Spanish youth teams for a long time. So I would say he does have international pedigree, and then won Euro 2024 with Spain. One of the interesting things, they don't really have a number 9. Mikel Oyarzabal will probably play striker, and he's kind of been a winger attacking midfielder for Real Sociedad for a long time. Morata's kind of been displaced by Oyarzabal. I don't even think Morata's in the squad. And then I think the midfield depth is incredible. Whether they play kind of a 3-man midfield or 2-man midfield with the number 10, like Dani Olmo, probably just playing off Oyarzabal will remain to be seen. But centre back, they've got Mikel Merino and Martin Zubimendi, both great seasons with Arsenal. Rodri,
Ballon d'Or last year.
Rodri, no,
2 years ago?
I think 2 years ago. It was Monday May. Was
2 years ago.
So I was going to say, just one.
But not advanced footballer.
No, but has been injured since then.
Good. Perpetually.
Yeah. A point I meant to make on France is we called it Team Mbappe, but Ousmane Dembélé is the kind of reigning Ballon d'Or winner, and has a chance to win the Champions League for a second time in a row with PSG this weekend. So as I mentioned, Rodri potentially he could play at centre back. He did in Euro 24 alongside Aymeric Laporte. Two quite young centre backs have come through since then. Paul Kubasi at Barcelona, and then Huyssen at Real Madrid Dean Huyssen played for Bournemouth 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A year ago, he went to Real Madrid. And then goalkeeper's quite controversial position in Spain.
So, but Huyssen didn't make the squad, right?
No, he did.
Oh, I was pretty sure I saw something about that there were no Real Madrid players who made this.
Oh, sorry, you're right. So Huyssen can't be in. Anyway.
Which is a bizarre fact that Real Madrid doesn't have a single World Cup. Spanish squad member.
Yeah. They don't have that many.
Barca have about 8.
Yeah. So yeah, Kubasi, we don't know who will play alongside. Maybe it'll be Rodri. Lenormand has played quite a lot in qualifying. I think he's an Athletic Bilbao player. But yeah, otherwise they've got strength and depth across the board. Centre back's the one concern. And then the goalkeeper situation is quite interesting because they've got kind of 2 of the top 10 goalkeepers in the world, let's say. And neither of them is the starting goalkeeper. So David Raya, playing for Arsenal, has won the Golden Glove the last 2 years. Obviously, that's not in itself doesn't mean you're the best goalkeeper in the league, but he has been impressive. And then Joan Garcia has been excellent for Barcelona the past season. I think he's only signed at the beginning of the season, or maybe 2 seasons ago. But has displaced ter Stegen quite young. I think he's 25, which is very young for a goalkeeper. But Unai Simon, the Athletic Bilbao goalkeeper, has been the Spain first choice for a while, and I mean he hasn't let them down. So
I feel like, especially in international teams, your international form should count for something. Especially when you look at, like, let's say, a goalkeeper. You don't want a striker who's not scoring goals domestically, but if you haven't let the national team down as a goalkeeper, I don't think you should be too easily displaced.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think unless the coach comes in quite like dogmatically wants to play one style of football, so say distribution.
Edison, at Man City, how he got ousted.
Yeah. Sorry, you are very right about Dean Huyssen. So the other contenders for centre back would be Laporte. So I think Kubasi Laporte makes most sense. Eric Garcia from Barcelona, but he's kind of mostly been back up for Barcelona. And then Marc Pubil, who plays for Atletico Madrid, kind of plays centre back, right back combination. Okay. But no, I mean, it is a very, very well balanced team. Pedri, obviously, in midfield, I didn't mention. Fabian Ruiz, part of that PSG team. Gavi, Alex Baena. It's
good footballers.
It's an incredible team, I think. Borja Iglesias is the kind of proper number 9 they could play, but he'll be a bench player. And obviously Nico Williams, who was the kind of Yamal and Nico Williams were the big 2 for Spain at the Euros. Anyway, that is the big 8 contenders.
Those are our favorites.
Yeah.
Where's your money, Joe?
My money is in my pocket, I think.
Oh, Brazil.
Well, my money is literally on Brazil, actually.
Out your pocket, on Brazil.
That is fair.
If you were granted a free bet, as you get from time to time from your work with no consequence of winning, ignoring the odds, if you just wanted your return, who would you pick?
Oof. Ignoring the odds, I mean, I just go Spain because they're most likely to win, I think. Including the odds, I think Portugal have got a underrated chance of winning this.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah, I like that as well. Portugal would be very cool, but do we want Ronaldo World Cup win?
No, I'll
reignite the GOAT debate.
No. Let's let them win the next one.
The next one.
When they're hosting alongside Spain.
Well, alongside half the world.
Yeah. That's true.
There's six host nations for the next
3 proper ones and 3
are hosting just one match.
Yeah. Spain Portugal final next World Cup would be tasty.
That would be very cool. Okay, so that is our World Cup favorites.
Yep.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Ed.
A little bit of a teaser, I guess, for our listeners. Our next episode to look forward to will be looking at the qualification for this World Cup.
Yeah.
And what any of the notable stories were, and how teams got there, who missed out. Italy did miss out. Ranked 12th in the world at the time. Nigeria did miss out.
Those are the big two,
Some
I'd
other
say.
teams,
Yeah,
some other
yeah.
teams also missed out. So we'll get to that soon enough. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you, Joe.
exciting. Thank you for listeners and watchers now.
Yeah. Until next time. Cheers.
Cheers.